Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Malika, and today I want to show you a day in the life of Mary. Mary is a 12 years old girl in our village and she's my friend, and I want to show you her life, what she does in a day. Mary is very responsible and this is her life in a day. And guys, before I continue, this is not child labor or something. This is what like kids in my village at her age do. So yeah, this is very normal. So this is where Mary sleeps at night. This is like a cow skin. This is a cow's skin and this is where they sleep at night mostly. Most of the times in the village, like we built like two houses whereby the kitchen is built separately outside from the main house. So mostly in the village kids sleep in the kitchen and this is the skin that they sleep on every day after waking up. This is what Mary does in the morning first of all, because in the kitchen you sleep, the kids sleep in the kitchen, and also chickens sleep in the kitchen. As you all know, in an African village almost everyone rears chickens, so they sleep with the chicken in the kitchen. So you have to sweep very early in the morning when you wake up. So this is what she does when she wakes up in the morning. She starts her day by sweeping the kitchen fast. Guys, the reason as to why Mary took the cow skin outside, it's like when you wake up, like it is recommended to put the beddings outside for sunshine. And also some kids here in the village, they wet the bed, they wet their sleeping area or the bed. Let me just say, they wet the bed, so like you have to put it outside for some sunshine during the day. So that is exactly what she did before she started sweeping. So guys, after sweeping, now it's time to brush her teeth in the village. And also most of the kids in the village don't have toothbrush and toothpaste, so they use a stick to brush their teeth or a finger to brush their teeth. Some kids have toothbrush, and so it's now time to wash her face, to brush her teeth before she can continue with the other job. Also Mary does all this when the mom is not around, because Mary's mom does some casual jobs, so sometimes she might wake up very early to go and to like dig in someone's farm for their daily bread. So Mary, as especially now that the schools are closed, Mary takes care of the homestead when their mom is when the mom is not around. It's now time to sweep the compound. This is the first thing almost every household does in the morning, because in the village, like most households, like most families, have trees, and as you can see, Mary's compound has a lot of trees. So like you have to clean the compound every morning to get rid of the leaves and the flowers. I forgot to mention, Mary is a second born in a family of 4, but the firstborn sister is in high school, is in secondary school, so she's most of the time she's not around. So Mary is the one who does most of the work sometimes. So yeah, this is what she does every day. And now we are done sweeping the compound. So this is what Mary does after finishing sweeping the compound. Now it's time to clean the utensils. Mary does everything, including washing clothes, their clothes, so the mom doesn't have to worry when she's going to fetch for the kids. As she told me that Mary takes care of the house when she's not around, so that she's able to work and bring home some food. Thank you. Now since it's harvest season in our village, so like we put out maize every day to sun dry, so that is the next thing that Mary is going to do. Like we bring out the maize every day to sun dry, and in the evening take it back to the house. So this is how maize is dried here in the village. So every farmer in the village, this is what they do. This is the only method of drying, or some people I see them drying the maize at the highway, at Atomic Road. So let's continue. Let me show you how Mary's life is. What's next after drying up the maize? Now it's time to fetch water. Most households in the village don't have water in the compound, so Mary goes out to fetch water every day, every morning. And now that she's back, guys, let me show you. This is the most common way of carrying water here in the village. This is how we carry our jerry cans on our heads. Mostly here in the village everyone does that. And also guys, since this is just a demonstrating to you how many days go, so we are going to skip breakfast and instead we are going to just prepare lunch right away. Mary knows how to prepare food, and she prepares food sometimes for her or whole family. It really depends. She knows how to cook most of the food here in the village. Ugali rice, anything Mary can cook. Rice is not very common here in the village, so most of the time she prepares ugali or githeri rice in the village. Not so many people eat rice here in the village. For the family, ugali and omena, or ugali and dogger, or I hear some people calling it sardines. So Mary is going to prepare everything, and let's wait. I can't wait to taste Mary's food. Mary's sister is called Elizabeth, and Elizabeth is very helpful. She's really trying to help her big sister. So once again Mary does this, and not only Mary does this in the village, other kids also. Mostly in the village we don't have house helps, so the kids does most of the jobs when their parents are not around. So Mary has been doing this, and also it's very helpful as the kids learn to be independent at an early age. So please, this is not Child labor. Once again I repeat this is what almost every child does. I just want to make it clear, and children of her age, not even like small kids or anything, children of her age, like from 10, going forward, 10, 11, 12. You guys, this is the kitchen. This is how it looks like. I think it's very, very nice, the style. Just look at the roofing. This is Mary's kitchen, and as I told you earlier on, in the village, like, the kitchen is built separately from the main house, so this is the main house and the other one is the kitchen, so they are not built together at all. The video begins with a young 12-year-old African girl. She is very young, yet already married and living in a small village with her child and family. She wakes up early in the morning, and the first thing she does is sweep the ground around her home. With a simple broom made from sticks, she carefully clears away dust and leaves, keeping the compound clean. After cleaning, she walks inside to organize the small house. She arranges the mats, folds blankets, and makes sure everything is in its proper place. Even though she is only 12, she works with responsibility like an adult. She then begins preparing food for her family. The girl collects firewood and sets up a cooking area outdoors. She lights the fire patiently and places a pot over it. Smoke rises as she blows gently to keep the fire alive. She washes vegetables in a basin of water, scrubbing them with care. She cuts leafy greens, onions, and other local produce, placing them neatly aside. With steady hands, she adds oil to the pot, fries the onions, and then puts in the vegetables, stirring with a wooden spoon. While the food cooks, she carries her small child in her arms. She gently rocks the baby, making sure the little one is calm and safe. At times, she pauses her cooking to comfort the baby or adjust the fire. Next, she goes to fetch more fresh vegetables from the nearby garden or field. She plucks green leaves, gathers them in a bundle, and brings them back home. This shows her dedication to providing for her family despite her young age. Returning to the house, she continues cooking. The pot is now steaming, and she stirs the food carefully. Her face shows patience and determination. Later, she prepares the place for the family to eat. She dishes out the food into simple bowls and plates. Despite her age, she makes sure that everyone gets their share, including her baby. The video highlights how this young girl, only 12 years old, takes on all the responsibilities of adulthood, keeping the home clean, cooking meals, collecting vegetables, and taking care of her child. It ends with scenes of her sitting with her family, feeding the baby, and showing resilience and strength in her daily life. Her story reflects the struggles and courage of many young girls in rural African villages. Voice-over style transcript reads studio microphone. Divide natural narration flow, intro, middle, ending, documentary. You said. PHLYBN Detty. ChatGPT said. Thumbs up. Voice-over transcript step by step. Documentary narration. Studio microphone transcript, final version. This is the story of a young 12-year-old African girl. Though still a child herself, she is already married, a mother, and the caretaker of her home. Early in the morning, she begins her day with housework. She sweeps the ground around her home, brushing away dust and leaves with a handmade broom. Her small hands move with patience and care, keeping the yard clean. Inside the house, she arranges mats, folds blankets, and makes sure everything is in order. At such a young age, she carries the responsibilities of an adult. Next, she prepares food for her family. She gathers firewood, lights a cooking fire, and carefully places a pot on top. Smoke rises into the air as she tends to the flames. She washes fresh vegetables in a small basin of water. Leafy greens, onions, and roots are cleaned and cut. With steady hands, she adds oil to the pot, fries the onions, and stirs in the vegetables, making a simple but nourishing meal. While the food cooks, she looks after her child. She carries the baby gently, calming and comforting with the tender care of a mother. At times, she pauses her cooking just to soothe the little one. Later, she goes to the garden to collect more vegetables. She plucks fresh greens, ties them together, and walks back home. Every step shows her dedication to her family's survival. Back at the fire, the pot steams with food. She stirs patiently, adding the final touches before serving. Her young face reflects responsibility, determination, and quiet strength. When the meal is ready, she prepares bowls and plates. Despite being just 12, she makes sure everyone is fed, her family, and her child. The video closes with her sitting quietly, holding her baby, feeding the child, and looking after her family. This is not just the story of one girl, it is the story of many young girls in African villages who take on the burdens of adulthood far too soon, yet face life with resilience, love, and courage. The village path, her young feet moving with determination. She picks leafy greens and a few root vegetables, carrying them back with quiet strength. Back at home, she washes the vegetables in a basin of water. She rubs them gently, removes dirt, and places them aside for cooking. Her small hands work with surprising skill, showing how much responsibility she carries at such a young age. She then prepares a small cooking fire. Gathering dry sticks and firewood, she arranges them carefully, then lights a flame under a metal pot stand. Smoke rises into the air as the fire catches, and soon the pot begins to heat. The girl pours water into the pot and adds the vegetables she prepared. She stirs with a wooden spoon, checking carefully as the steam rises. The sound of sizzling food mixes with the natural village atmosphere, chickens clucking in the background, the wind blowing softly. Nearby, her little baby sibling begins to cry. Without hesitation, the girl puts aside the spoon and goes to comfort the child. She lifts the baby gently, holding and rocking with motherly care, even though she herself is still a child. The camera lingers on her young face, showing both innocence and responsibility. After calming the baby, she returns to her cooking, making sure nothing burns. She adds a little salt and continues stirring patiently. As the food cooks, she uses the time to wash a few clothes and tidy up around the house. She carries water, rinses small garments, and hangs them neatly to dry. Every task she does alone, with quiet dedication. Finally, the meal is ready. She serves the food into bowls and sets them neatly on the mat. Her family gathers, and she ensures that her baby sibling is fed first. The scene captures both love and sacrifice, a young girl balancing childhood with the heavy weight of responsibility. The video closes with her sitting quietly beside her family, watching them eat with a gentle smile. The smoke of the cooking fire rises into the sky, and the simple African village life continues.